Hey guys, everything cool with you? Here we are with the newest episode of the Wukong the Legendary Saiyan Saga. I know you're anxious to know what's going to happen, but don't be in a hurry. I guarantee that today's episode will be epic. But first we have to say a few things so that we can finally continue with the video. If you like these videos and really like to follow, I ask that you leave a like on the video, as much as it is annoying to ask. It helps a lot in the performance of the channel and motivates us to always keep bringing you amazing videos. Wukong and Yamoshi's training continued while this was happening. Several planets were destroyed and dominated by Frigg, Frieza's ancestor. But in the meantime, the Saiyans' planet began to be attacked by Frigg and his Ice Race army. And the apprentice, Canon Angel, was able to see this invasion thanks to his team, and immediately managed to grab Wukong and Yamoshi and take them to the Saiyans' planet. Still in the Saiyans' village, a ray of light appeared in the midst of that invasion that was transient on the Saiyans' planet. Was Wukong, Canon, and Yamoshi. Quickly, Canon left there, leaving only the Saiyans in battle. Frigg, seeing that flash of light, already knew it was his enemy and advanced toward them without thinking. But Wukong didn't stay still at high speed and tried to hit him with a punch, but was unsuccessful because Wukong was using Ultra Instinct, and that the form made Wukong dodge the blows quickly. But Wukong still hadn't mastered this technique perfectly and therefore lacked attack speed. Frigg threw another punch right after, making Wukong dodge once more, but Wukong tried to counterattack. But before that, Wukong was interrupted and forced to dodge a low kick from the Great King of the Icy Race, Frigg, who was able to easily see a weakness in Wukong while smiling at Wukong's face. That was Frigg's plan every time Wukong prepared to attack. Frigg attacked and forced him to dodge, and as the resistance of the Icy Race is greater than that of the Saiyans, Frigg would sometime hit his punch of extreme destructive power right in the middle of the opponent's face. Wukong got serious. He really didn't have much to do in that situation. Wukong was waiting for his opponent to falter until at a certain moment Frigg started laughing non-stop. Frigg said, "Dodge to death, you idiot. Let's see how long you can play this stupid little game with my punches," said King Frigg, who kept giving unsuccessful punches and kicks to Wukong. Wukong was getting frustrated and seriously thinking about taking one of Frigg's attacks to see if this fight would end, but Wukong still didn't want to risk that much. After thinking of a way to win, a light of hope appeared and took Wukong out of the darkness. Frigg received a very hard punch that sent him flying away, and the punch was landed by Wukong's loyal partner Yamoshi. After landing a beautiful punch to his opponent's face, Yamoshi smiled. Yamoshi said, "I'm tired and bored of seeing you attack my friend Wukong, so it's my turn to join the fight, Mr. Frigg," said Yamoshi, assuming his fighting stance and thus becoming a serious threat to Frigg. Frigg said, "It looks like you're back, isn't it? But I'm going to make you return to the world of the dead, you cursed ones." Yamoshi and Wukong greeted each other by standing side by side, and then they went at their opponent with all their strength that they had, because Frigg in terms of strength was equal to two Saiyans, and despite taking punches, none of the fighters had their guard really broken. Yamoshi and Wukong were holding up well to the punches and kicks that were taking until Yamoshi backed up to prepare a technique while Wukong faced Frigg alone. The blow consisted of Wukong distracting the opponent and Yamoshi aiming his technique at Frigg, so that when Yamoshi released his technique, Wukong dodged it, and the opponent took all the damage himself. Wukong and Yamoshi tried to execute the plan, but as soon as Frigg realized that Yamoshi was ready with his technique, Frigg thought, "I think I've seen this before. It's very clever, but it has its weakness." Frigg, as a great actor, pretended that he didn't understand what was happening, so that he could fight back at the right moment. So Yamoshi launched his key technique on top of Wukong, who teleported himself, but as soon as Wukong disappeared, Frigg appeared behind Yamoshi with a kick, almost hitting him. Frigg just didn't kick Yamoshi because before Frigg could, he ended up taking a powerful elbow from Wukong, who knew that Frigg would appear there. Wukong said, "You may be smart, but you're still much dumber than me. I knew you'd understand that technique and take that opportunity to catch Yamoshi off guard. However, you didn't count on my cunning, and now you're going to be beaten just because of that," Wukong said, teasing Frigg. After taking an elbow, Frigg was still hit by a kick from Yamoshi that threw the King of the Icy Race towards Wukong, who received it with a hook, making Frigg fly upwards. After throwing Frigg up there, Wukong sent the King of the Icy Race towards Yamoshi, who also received Frigg with a punch, and sent him up again with a kick. Frigg exploded with rage and began to raise his ki even more, making the two warriors startle with much power in a single creature. Frigg went over Yamoshi since he was a little injured and threw him towards Wukong, who held his ally with both hands. Then Frigg threw to Wukong, who couldn't defend himself and ended up taking the full damage. Frigg started a sequence of combined blows on the two opponents. Frigg kicked Yamoshi and Wukong at the same time, making them fly in the same direction. Then Frigg fired several blasts of Ki and then advanced on top of the two Saiyans, surpassing Ki's own shots and hitting Yamoshi and Wukong with a knee. As soon as the Saiyans had a chance to fight back, they ended up taking the Ki blasts, and with that they lost the opportunity, which meant that they had opened a gap for Frigg to hit the two Saiyans again. In the cave, the old man said, "This fight began to lean a lot towards the king of the icy race after all. Frigg was managing to win alone against the two Saiyans. Wukong will have to do something because Yamoshi is already tired. Apart from the fact that even if Yamoshi and Wukong manage to match Frigg, the king of the icy race is still far from falling. His resistance is quite impressive, so Wukong and Yamoshi will have to overcome a lot there. They will have to pass this level of fighting power if they want to stand a chance against the king of the entire icy race," said the old man, making Kennen reflect on what he could do. Back to the village. Wukong retreated because he felt that he was not yet at his peak and that he would be able to go beyond that, far beyond that. Wukong sought to concentrate even more. Wukong looked for the extreme focus, and once it hit, he got a high-level surprise. His hair turned white and his whole body glowed with a sparkling aura and an even more serious countenance. This is the complete form of the higher instinct. After this form was reached, the Saiyans together managed to match Frigg's power, but that wasn't enough yet. Since, as Kennen said, Yamoshi and Wukong would need to overcome Frigg's power a lot if they wanted to win, because the king of the icy race had enormous resistance. But Wukong and Yamoshi could find a way to make Frigg's power decrease. Both Saiyans focused on trying to make Frigg break the bones, and with that they ended up aiming the punches and kicks at the most sensitive points of the king of the ice race. But Frigg understood the plan of the Saiyans before they executed it, and so Frigg defended the areas of his body that he knew the Saiyans would attack. Wukong with that power was no longer hit by Frigg's blows because Frigg couldn't hit him, so apparently everyone was trapped in the same situation, in which neither side could do anything. That is, both could only do their best not to lose control. Fight. But beyond that battle was the angel Kennen in the cave. Kennen was worried about what could happen during the match, so he kept thinking of a way to make the two Saiyans overcome his opponent's offensive until finally Kennen found an answer. He remembered that he had the Potara earrings and took them out of his pocket. Kennen said, "I shouldn't give this to you, but it's the only thing I can do in this time of torment and worry," said Kennen, holding the Potara earrings in his hand. The elder looked at that curious object. After a long look, the old man approached Kennen as if he didn't want anything. The elder spoke. "What is this, and how can it help you win?" "I think lucky items won't work in this fight," said the elder, questioning Kennen. Kennen tried to explain this to the elder clearly so he could understand. Kennen said, "These are Potara earrings. They are able to make the two users become one, which caused the fighting power to increase drastically, and that would be very useful now. But the fusion has a time limit that cannot be disregarded. So I'll wait a little longer," said Kennen, waiting for the right moment to wear the earrings. The right moment would be when Frigg was already more weakened and tired, and so maybe Yamoshi and Wukong could win against the king of the icy race. Hey guys, I know it's sad when today's video unfortunately ends, but don't worry because the next episodes are coming. If you liked it, don't forget to leave your like. It helps us a lot and motivates us to continue with these videos that you like so much. Comment your theories of what might happen in the next episode and share the video with your friends so you can watch it together. That's it. See you guys.